Welcome back on the bridge. Today we are having a special guest. He spent 1 year in the mountain and he's here to explain to us about the experience he learned there. Welcome to our program. Welcome to the bridge.
Thank you for accepting me to your program. I'm really excited to be here and also I'm really happy.
We are happy to have you. So can you introduce and tell more about yourself to the people who are watching us on the bridge?
Okay, before I went to the mountains, I went to the university, I got education for foreign language teaching. And after that I worked on making video movies, but after sometime I realized that something is not going good. I was really stressed, so I went to the mountains to be alone myself, to learn about myself. I found a house. I stayed there for
You found the house on the mountain?
Yeah, I found the owner of a house actually. I talked with him and he was like, okay, you can stay there, because he stayed at the mountain for the same reason with me. He made the house there to listen to his head, as I said. And yeah, so he familiarized with me. He said that, okay, I went there 20 years ago for the same reason, so you can have my house as long as you want. So I went there, I stayed there for around a year, and after some time I returned when I solved the issues I wanted to solve.
Why going to the mountain?
Actually, the mountain was not like my purpose. It's like I wanted a place, calm and safe place. I was looking for possible places, so I bumped into this house. So mountain was not my purpose. I wanted solitude. It's just I bumped into that house.
Wanting a solitude, going to the mountain. So, can you tell us your daily life, before the mountain, during the mountain, and after you return to the mountain?
Before the mountain, it was like chaos, because I was like doing jobs and other things, but I was not planned, and as I said, something was not going right when I didn't know what it is. But when I went to the mountains, there I realized that I needed a plan, because every day...
excuse me, what were you doing before going to the mountain?
I was taking movies, and
You were a producer?
Yeah, I was like a screenwriter and also a director. It's like I could do editing job, I could do almost anything with video production. So when I needed the money, I could make little commercials,
advertisements.
But something was not right. I realized it, because I was talking to myself that maybe I don't want this, I don't know, so I should know. And also I was under really, really high stress, dense stress. So, but I think the thing is, I didn't have any plan or purpose
in life.
At first it was not problem. If you don't have any purpose, it's okay, you can find a purpose. You don't have to find it in one day. But after some time I realized that, okay, I'm not choosing a purpose with this job. Maybe I do not want this. So I went to mountain. When I was there, I realized that I need to have some plans, because every day is the same, almost, if you do not plan anything. If you sit there, it's the same all the time. So it's not good for your mental health. You must accomplish some things to stay alive there. You must gather wood, you must do other stuff. So at first I started making small plans, really small, like, okay, I'll cut wood in 7 in the morning every day. After some time,
I was like, during the mountain life.
After some time it was not enough. I was doing small plans, but my mind, I realized it was thinking, okay, what am I doing here? What will I gain in the end of this? Where am I
Yes.
going? I not consciously but unconsciously I was asking these questions. I realized after 2 or 3 months. So I started a YouTube channel to talk about my life, so people can know about me and I can, relate to them. I can talk with them over the internet. I was in the mountain, but I realized that I'm a social being, a human being, so I started to connect with the world through YouTube. The thing is, when I learned the lesson from...
But you wanted solitude, you want
Yeah,
to be
yeah.
alone. So why opening the YouTube channel then?
The thing is, I wanted solitude. I want, actually, maybe solitude is not the correct word. I maybe chose it, wrongly. I can say that I wanted to avoid the stress of everyday life. The traffic, the people, money. You try to earn money through various ways, and the chaos of life in here in the city. I didn't want that for some time. I needed a break from that, but connecting with people is okay. I didn't want to avoid it. I didn't want I don't want to see anyone. I just didn't want to be in, this beehive in the city for some time. But now I returned, of course. When I learned, or when I eliminated the stress factor that was tiring me, and when I learned the lessons that I should learn from the mountain, I returned here, and now my life is like more planned, and also I'm really more relaxed in my decisions. Before that I was counting every possibility before taking the decision, and I was wasting too much time.
So you say you learned what you wanted to
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
and that's why you returned. So
Yeah.
why really made you return from the mountain?
It's like, there are many reasons, as you know. In some cases there is not one single reason. One of the reasons is, as I said, I realized, I felt that I learned the lesson that I should learn from there. After some time, I wasn't learning new things. I wasn't improving myself there. The improvement is just stopped. I said, okay, if the improvement is stopped, I should leave this place.
Share with us, which improvement did you...
Actually, the spiritual and the perspective, my perspective. I was not improving my perspective. When I first went there, I learned many things about myself every day. But after some time, it just dropped. I learned many things after some time.
Like?
The thing is, I learned to watch myself from outside, like another person. It's like, sometimes, for example, if your friend has a problem, you can see the solution, but he doesn't, right? Sometimes it happens to me. So, if you can see yourself as another person, as your friend, and ask what this person wants, you can find the answers really easily. I learned to do it myself. Okay, sometimes I saw myself as another person, and I thought that, okay, what does he want? And I could see the answers easily. And this is an improvement for me, because I can decide on what I want easily. But when you think about myself, what do I want? Generally, I cannot find many things, because it's not a simplistic way of thinking. It's really complex. Or I learned to cope with the unexpected situations, because there everything is unexpected all the time. It's not like in the city many things happens again and again and again, but there you're doing something and the rain starts, and you are in the mud in the field, and you have to walk for 10 kilometers in the mud. you planned on walking in the sunshine, and but you have to walk in the mud now, and it's raining, and you'll be really wet, and you have to endure it. So you do not get angry because sometimes it rains. But these kinds of unexpected things happens all the time there. So now I'm good at handling unexpected situations really better from the past. Like there are many things. I learned things like this every day.
Yes.
I thought about it, but after some time it just dropped.
So you went in the mountain, you spent almost year. It's a year, right? So you've been interact with the nature. What did the nature teach you that time? What did you learn from the nature?
Yeah, I learned from the nature that actually maybe it's a bit weird, but I learned that prejudice is like really hindering us from living. It's like I learned from nature that you must eliminate all the prejudices, all the knowledge that are taught to you. Some of them are maybe really wrong. I learned that, for example, there is moss on the north side of the rocks. It's a general knowledge. In TV shows they say that the moss grows on the north side of the rock or the trees, but in some places it doesn't grow on the north side because of the specific situation of the rock. Maybe something turned the rock. Maybe wind is blowing in a different direction in there.
Yes.
Maybe south is colder there. And every square meter has different rules in the nature. You cannot, if you go there with the knowledge from, documentary programs, you may die because of the wrong information. You have to learn it yourself. You have to experience it. It has to base on real experience. But in our lives, we learn many things.
So you say documentaries are lie?
No. They give general information. They are entertaining us because none of us will go into nature and try to fight with animals, right? Most of us. So it's an entertainment. It's a general knowledge. If it says an information, it's correct for 90% of the time, maybe. But you cannot take that risk in the nature. You have to be sure, you have to see it yourself. For example, in some programs they say like, if you see a bear do this. It's not realistic because which bear, that bear may have kids, I don't know, or maybe wounded.
Wounded?
Yeah, maybe wounded, or maybe he just woke up from the sleep and he doesn't see you. He's calm. Maybe someone who looks like you shoot at it before.
Yes.
Which bear, because can you say that? Think about this. If aliens came here and they have little menus, if you see a human do this, it's not helpful, right? Because every person is different. Yes. If you see a person do this, it's not helpful. So you mustn't rely on the knowledge that if you see a bear do this, you just watch the bear, what is it doing? And is it angry? You can understand from its face, from its behavior. Is it aggressive? Is it trying to avoid you? So you see that, you live that, you process the information, real information at that time, and you decide on it. So your judgment is objective in that way. It bases on real empiric knowledge at that time.
During your experience in the mountain, did you meet or find some wild animals?
Yeah.
Did you at any certain time feel like you're in danger?
Yeah, many times.
How?
Actually, the one is really important to me. I saw a wolf one time. It was like I was walking in the woods. I think there were oak trees there. And I was walking in the woods, and it turns out that the wolf was sleeping under a tree, and I couldn't see it because of some bush. I couldn't see it. I was walking toward that direction, yeah, dead ahead.
Yes.
I think it's like when there's 5 or 10 meters between us, he woke up. He woke up so fast that I saw it immediately, but I was like, stunned. It's like I had a knife, really big knife, but it doesn't matter. Even if you have a gun, it doesn't matter. It's like a really instinctive fear and also he was afraid. He was just stunned at the same time. It's like, flashlight, two animals, doesn't know anything what happened. It's like maybe 1 second or 2 seconds, but it was too long for me. It's like for the longest seconds of my life. It's like too much happening in my mind. And so, because he was more experienced, of course he came to himself faster than me.
During that time, how did you feel?
It's like I've
face to face with a woman.
It's like you cannot even fear. It's like your body is locked. It's like after that you start to feel fear, but at the first moment it's like really instinctive. There's no word to describe it. You just stand there. It's like you cannot do anything. It's like surprised. You know the meaning? That's the real surprise for your body. It's a surprise, and it's like a situation. And he was in the same situation because he was sleeping, and it's like suddenly he saw me. After 1 or 2 seconds, he just, it's like so fast, like I couldn't even hear his footsteps. Like it's like, and in 1 or 2 seconds, it just disappeared. Yeah, it's like, but while it was going, I start to came to myself. It's like, because of course you cannot understand what you just lived, and you cannot believe, did I see a wolf? It's like, it's like your mind is coming behind you. It's like it's not that fast.
Yes.
So and after 5 or 10 seconds I decided, okay, I should go from this place, and I didn't decide on any direction. My foot just automatically decided the exactly opposite way of it went, the farther away possible. Wow. So after 1 week, I was walking again. I saw the same wolf again. It's like a bit far away, but I realized it's there. So I decided that after that, okay, I will not wander around this area again. And also, it was not in the winter, hopefully. It was really good, and because it was not too hungry, because if it was in the winter, maybe it may attack me. If it's too hungry, it may attack me to stay alive. But in summertime, there's too much food. I'm really big for it, so it doesn't attack me, I guess. But in the winter, I never went out in the winter. I always stayed in the house in the winter. Because
how did you eat then, if you stay inside?
No. I went out, but really short times. Like, once in a month, I went to the city. I took some, rice and other things. I stuffed it and I cooked it every day. I was in the same room. The stove was burning. I was cooking food every day. I was eating. I was reading. I was sleeping. That's all. That
was your routine?
Yeah, in the winter, and it was really enjoyable because, your life is just one room, but it's a good room, it's like, think about it, you are cooking your dish, there is just the sound of boiling water, nothing else for hours. It's like you read and you feel relaxed, there is no sound outside, sometimes there's wind. You hear it, you open your curtains and you see snow falling. You continue reading. I had my computer, I made some videos, I watched some movies. Time passed, and in the night I was sleeping really early because, there's nothing to do.
Wow.
And when I went to the bed, there is a hole in the stove, fireplace, not fireplace, but the other thing. And it's the light of the flames was playing on the ceiling. I slept while I watched that every day. I watched the flames. It's like it's really therapeutic. It really heals you.
So you spend almost all the day alone.
Yeah. In the winter especially.
Were you afraid of being alone?
Yeah, of course. Our
Why
Not
will
too
you
afraid,
why
but-
will you be afraid yet is what you wanted?
Sometimes because nothing will be 100% perfect. There will be some issues, of course. For example, I'm a human being. I'm a social being. It's not good for you to be alone for too much time. Sometimes I feel because, for example, I'm changing the light bulb, right? Sometimes I thought that if I fell down now and broke my leg and no one will help me, because especially in the winter the road is just blocked, no one can come. You can go by walking, but if I break my leg, what will happen? As I said, if I got some food poisoning, I just die.
Because you are alone.
Yeah, because
No one will help you.
Yeah. For example, think about this. I left, for example, if I leave my phone in the other room, and if I faint, I cannot do anything. There is no one to see me that I'm in a bad situation. And also sometimes I felt lonely, not afraid, but sad, because sometimes you feel that you need to share some things with people. I opened the YouTube channel because of that. I needed to connect with people, but it's not enough, It's not. You must connect in real life. Sometimes I felt that.
Yeah. How often did you use mobile, internet,
Before,
and everything?
Before-
to technology.
okay. Before I went to mountains, I wasn't keen on using social media and other stuff. I was keen on making movies, watching movies, but not with social media too much. When I went there, I just used it for to show what I'm living. I didn't use other times. I just leave my phone. I just used it to take videos.
We are coming back after the advertisement. Welcome back on the bridge. We are still having Vijay. He's still explaining to us about the moment he spent in the mountain. Imagine spending 1 year in the mountain alone. Vijay, please tell us, how did you connect with the other world? Like you are alone in the mountain, and you told us you use telephone, you use internet and laptop and everything. So how often did you use that?
Actually, I didn't use it much often. I just called my mom sometimes, my real close friends. I use social media sometimes to just share if I see something interesting, and if I wrote something. I like to write poems and other stuff. So when I do that, I put it there. I realized that if I go spend time on social media and other stuff, I'm really losing time there. I'm losing time in the mountains. So I didn't use it a lot. I just use it to show it. I just use it to use it on my YouTube channel to advertise it for YouTube. For example, I use social media, but I didn't use it for personal causes. You can say that
So which means you didn't miss anybody?
Yeah, I missed some people, of course. Most of the people I didn't miss. But, there are some certain people that you miss. You remember the things you done, things you talk, and
did.
you think about it. It's like it's happening again, and you realize that person is not there. It's not happening. It's just in the past. You miss that person. I called them, but it's not the same with, talking in real life. It's the phone. I missed some people. But as I said, you cannot expect everything to be good 100%. There will be some things that are not good. You have to accept it. If you are in the mountain, there will be no stress, but of course there will be no social fun. It's a situation you accept, but I missed some people, of course.
So, Reda, you went to the mountain to overcome stress or to reduce the stress you're going through because of the work you are doing. So, according to you, how people can overcome stress in their daily working life?
Yeah, I have some ideas about this. I was thinking about these things. I realized that if you want to be happy, first in daily life, I'll explain my thoughts on working life later. In daily life, first you have to know your priorities, but your priorities, not the priorities that are pressed on you by other people. What do you want exactly? And you can decide on it, for example, by using your feelings. Do you really like this car to drive? Do you really like to drive, or do you buy it because it's, an expensive car and you want to show it to other people? If the answer is the second one, the car is not for you. It's like you are the slave to the opinions of others in that case. But if you want the car, for example, some people are just, when they are little kids, they just want, I want cars, they want to drive. When they grow up, they like cars. It's like, it's what they like. So you can shape your daily life according to that. You can, if you do not know what do you want, you can learn it by doing this. You can ask your mother and your friends which know you when you were little, and you ask that, what did I like when I was little? Because the things when you are little really don't change actually. It's the core of you. So you can remember it by asking them. If they say that you were doing...
But when you are young, you think like a young person. But when you get old, you think like an old or an adult person. So,
but you think like an adult person, but your feeling stays the same in a way that the things you want, the things you get excited by, doesn't change too much. It's like the objects may change, the objects you want change, but the way you want the things doesn't change. If a person really likes solitude when they were little, they like solitude when they grow up. If they want excitement, if they want surprise, it doesn't change. You can ask. It's just one technique. You may use it or you may not. I'm saying that you can ask other people, what did I want when I was little. The important part is you have to know that if you want something in your life, if you do something in your daily life, ask about it. Why do I do this? Why do I want this? Actually, why do I want this? Do I want this because I like it? Do I want this because other people find it important? That's the thing for the daily life. For the working life, it's like always start from yourself. The reference point is you. The starting point is respect. You must respect other people to avoid stress at first. There may be, there are some mobbing. There may be some mobbing in working places and other places, but if you keep your place and if you don't listen to the ideas of the other people, okay, you can listen, but don't take them as your values. If someone calls you lazy or hardworking, hear it, but don't take it as yourself. Do not say that I'm a hardworking person. It's like they are just opinions of others. Yeah.
So you mean people don't have to accept the compliment?
Yeah, you can compliment, you can say thank you, but the thing is, don't think that I'm a hardworking person. It's like, it's their opinion. Yeah, you may be hardworking, but just don't think it as it's your value, because the important thing is what you think about yourself. Maybe they may think that you are a hardworking person because you are hardworking for them. Maybe for you it's not enough, maybe. Or maybe they may call you not hardworking for them because they really work hard. Maybe they work too much for you, it's meaningless for you. You don't have to feel that you are lazy. Maybe you are hardworking for you, you know.
Yes.
Because every person has a different, you know, subjective definition of everything. For example, Steve Jobs can call all of us lazy people because he made really many things, right? But, you know, he is just more hardworking than us. It doesn't say about anything, us. So if someone probably calls you hardworking, he means that you work hard for me. He's like...
Is between him or her with you?
Yeah,
Is that
yeah.
comparison?
He thinks that you are hardworking because what you're doing is hardworking for him. Maybe
During
some
that
other
time.
person, maybe some other person may say that it's not enough. Yeah, it's subjective, it changes. So in the working life, hear the compliments of people, think about it, but don't take those as your values. Don't just, how can I say it, set up your personality from those values. They are coming from outside.
So that's what you can do to overcome
Yeah,
stress.
and you just trust yourself. It's like,
Trusting
Good.
yourself and not hear what other people are saying.
yeah. You may hear it, but take them as just compliments, not the truth, because the truth is like, it's a thing that only you know about yourself. No one can know. It's just, you know, it doesn't mean anything. People can call you hardworking, really super person, but you must feel it from inside that it's like the real thing, that the truth is, you only know the truth.
The truth is inside you.
Yeah,
That's what you
inside
mean.
you. Yeah.
You are trying to say.
Yeah.
Huh.
It's like,
Rejaye, what is good life for you? What do you think about good life?
of course, I'll say that good life, the definition of good life changes from person to person.
I'm asking this because you experience many things in your life, and you had everything you wanted, good job, money and everything, but at a certain time you just drop everything, you went to the mountain. So
I'll answer for me, what's good life for me? It's like, good life is if I'm living a life that I learn, experience new things. Maybe it may not be every day, but I should learn continuously. And if I improve myself continuously, and also, really important part, if I enjoy most of the moments, because some of the moments you don't enjoy, it's the reality of life. You cannot enjoy every moment. So it's a good life, learning and enjoying. It's really important for me. I should renew myself all the time, and I should get fun. The rest will just follow. The career, money, it's like good marriage, I don't know. The rest will follow, I guess. Because sometimes I just look at the lives of other people that I admire. And the mutual parties, they always say that just follow your passions, thoughts, and improve yourself, and the rest will follow. And generally all the time, when I looked at their life, it always followed success. And also success doesn't have to follow. I say that I accept this. I may do everything, but I may not be successful. It's okay. I like the journey. If I do not reach the place that I want, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that I didn't. It doesn't mean that I didn't reach to anywhere. Probably I accomplished some things while I'm doing this journey. So the good life is for me, as I said, improving myself, learning and experiencing new things, and getting fun from life.
Getting fun from life. What was the purpose of your life in the mountain?
Purpose. My purpose in the mountain.
Yes,
The
of
purpose
your
I've-
life in the
Okay.
mountain.
As I said, when I first there, I didn't have any purpose. But after some time, especially while I'm chopping wood, my brain was thinking, okay, what will we do?
What
What
is
we
next?
should do? Yeah. But not conscious thinking, but it was always in my mind. You know, sometimes there is a little thing in your mind. It's always, you know, what will we do? So after some time, I realized that I need a purpose. So I said that I can choose this purpose. It doesn't have to come from the heavens. You can choose your purpose. So I said that I will do some creative thing. I'll create a new thing. It may be in art, technology. It was like I was just looking really broadly from broad perspective. And also I realized that I want to do some things with other people, with other creative people, especially with other people that are, you know, that have lived the same stress with me. So I said that I will find people like me and I will do some things together with them. I don't know what it is, but we can do art, we can do business, I don't know. We can do many things, but the first thing is I should find other people that are like me. And one of the reasons that I opened the YouTube channel was that also. I tried to find people that are like me, and I find some people.
Who like solitude?
Not who like solitude. They would prefer solitude for some time because they were having this similar issues with me. But their way of thinking was really not similar, but new. Some of them I couldn't understand what they wanted to create, but I realized that okay, this is a different person. He can create really different things. He sees the things that I don't see. Also, probably I see the things that he doesn't see. So we can help each other. We can we can improve each other really much. So I found some people like this. We became friends. We are still talking. We are still planning some things, doing some things. It was like my purpose, as I said, was doing this, finding people like me and doing some new things, to amaze people, to create something new. I just didn't decide what it is yet, but I don't have to decide it yet. But I'm guessing that it would be like an art thing. It may be related to technology, but if I meet a person who is really interested in technology and who has an open mind, who can talk with us, we can change the things we do. I think that was the purpose, and I'm doing the purpose right now. I'm following it.
So it's changed your life. Now, how is what's the purpose of your life now after?
Now.
Yes, after coming back from the mountain.
Now my purpose is, as I said, I'm following the first purpose that I found in the mountain. I'm still finding people who are like me, and we are talking about ideas, what could we do. Sometimes I'll help them.
People who like you.
Yeah.
Why?
Because, actually I feel from my childhood I felt always a bit outcast, a bit weird, always.
Weird.
Yeah, it's like because other children were playing, I was just sitting and watching the clouds and, and watching the wall sometimes. There's nothing there. My mother said that, okay, you're watching the wall.
You can sit and watch a wall.
Wall.
The world.
Yeah, wall. Sometimes my mother said that you were just looking at some stone and you were thinking, she said that you were like a grown-up when you were a child. You didn't break anything. You just didn't, I just didn't interact with the world. I just watched all the time. But I was really good at watching. Because of that, my grades were all of my grades were at the top, because I was just, when I didn't take any notes anytime, but I was just recording the lesson when I'm watching because I'm really focused on watching. Yeah. I wasn't interacting with the world, but I was like a video camera. My memory was really good. It's good now, but in the past it was really good. It's like, so because of that, everyone thought I'm weird because, in the school I never say anything, but I get the type grades, I just sit there, I go home. For example, at one time my teacher came to our house, and he said that, why this child doesn't speak at all? He didn't hear my voice for months. So I think that was the reason that I went to mountain, because I wasn't connecting the world. I couldn't do it in the city. I went there, and there I realized that there must be some people who are like me.
Remind me, the mountain you went to, it's called what?
The
why
mountain
did you choose that
has no name,
mount?
but I can say the name of the city. It's a city in Balıkesir. It's Susurluk. And there was, a village.
Why that village? Why specifically there?
Actually, it was chance, because when I wanted to go from the city, when I wanted to go outside, I sent messages to all the people I know who are outside the city, because I got the education like foreign language teaching. Most of my friends were teachers, so they were in the different cities teaching language. So I called them, do you know a house? It's like, some of them really like wandering in the nature with the car, jeep, maybe I told that probably some of them see some alone houses, left houses, no one in there. So one of my friends sent the picture of the house. Said that, okay, and I saw the house, and I said that, okay, this is good. I can stay there. So I went there and I wanted the house. That happened like that.
That's how it happened. Vijay, do you think, will you go again to the mountain?
Yeah, I think I'll go to the mountain again. And
Why?
I will do it. I think change is a good thing. I will stay in here. I will go to the, it may not be the same mountain, but as I said, I went to the mountain by chance. Maybe I would go to a different place that I can have solitude. But the mountain is, I realized that it really looks like the place I grew up when I was a child, before I become an adult. And those things you live when you're a child is really pure. It's like, it's the core of you. Not you, but the core of you. It's the building block, first building block. It's the basics about you. So because it was similar to the place I grew, so it's like I could see the depths of myself, the building blocks. So I lived familiar things there. And it was really, a familiar place actually. So if you are in stress, maybe it's good that you go to a familiar place to cope with the stress at the first.
Yes.
But I'll go there from time to time, I guess. I'll go to the mountains for some time. I'll return after I learn some things. I'll go there again, maybe. I'll change my place all the time, I guess.
So, in this world, because of our daily life, and there's many people, I think, many people or some people may like to try new things, may like to change, like what you did. Well, not going to the mountain, but trying new things. So, how can people find courage to try new things?
Yeah.
To have an experience like yours.
For example, you mean that in every area of life, it may be starting an art, or it may be starting a business, it may be, you're saying that starting a new thing, right?
Yeah, you can start new thing. How can they start new thing? Like what you did, you went to the mountain, you try new thing. So like someone who really want to overcome stress and go and try new thing to recreate himself or herself. What what is like you can tell to them?
Yeah. You can do it.
What can
by,
you tell to them?
Yeah, actually, I'll tell from experience how did I do it. Before I went there, I had many doubts about myself. What will I do there and other stuff. How I could find courage by, I don't know, looking at the lives of other people who could manage real great things, because I wanted to make great things. Still I want to make great things. I'm working on it. And I looked at the lives of other people who made new great things. I read their biographies, autobiographies. I read the news about them. And I tried to understand their reactions towards the unexpected situations, or their way of thinking. How did they take the important decisions? What what are they affected by while taking the decisions, and what are their reasons? So after some time, you start to realize their motives, their way of thinking. You may not understand it 100%, but it really gives you an idea.
To try new
Yeah.
things.
It's like when you know how can you do something a bit, the courage follows. Because you cannot do anything without knowing anything, right? If you do not know the risks, it's a big risk.
Yes.
If you know the risks, it's not that much risk. So you can take measures if you know the risks. So if you just collect information about the thing you want to do, and also about people who try new things. It's like learning from others.
Right. So the last question here is, do you consider yourself as a bridge?
Yes, I think I consider myself as a bridge, because most of my friends are trying to learn things from me all the time about nature, other stuff. So I think that I'm connecting to different worlds to each other.
Okay, that's so nice. We thank you, Dejay, for coming to our program.
I thank you.
Okay, it's here we are done our program today. Thank you for following us. See you soon on The Bridge.